The cello suites by J.S. Bach are pretty much the quintessential Baroque cello repertoire. These Bourées from the third suite in C major are particularly popular movements for students and for people just being introduced to the suites. I'm particularly fond of this movement because when I first began playing cello, I saw a video of Yo-Yo Ma playing these Bourées with dancers, and the piece was always memorable to me. These Bourées in particular are fairly popular to people who are just being introduced to the suites. One of the biggest debates among cellists and scholars are which bowings to use for the cello suites. We actually don't have a surviving manuscript in Bach's hand, so we have to sort of do detective work with the sources that we do have. The closest thing that we have to J.S. Bach is his wife Anna Magdalena, who worked also as his copyist. The problem with her manuscript, however, is that it's quite sloppy and also pretty inconsistent. If we take her bowings literally, we might actually miss some information that would have been assumed, such as writing in a bowing on a particular figure and then not bothering to write it in later, even though it's assumed you would apply the same bowing to a similar figure. Also, because it's quite sloppy, sometimes it's hard to tell if a slur is covering 3 notes or 2 notes or 4 notes, and at that point you just have to make an executive decision for yourself. We can cross-reference them with some of the other manuscripts. One interesting approach is looking at the violin partitas, which are similar works where we do have a manuscript written in Bach's hand. We can look at some of the slurs he does there and see if we can apply them to similar instances in the cello suites. When it comes down to it, the cello suites are incredibly personal and no two cellists play them the same. That goes with musical ideas, but also in this case with bowings. Especially because I find that the cello suites are played so often by both modern and Baroque cellists, I really like to switch up my bowings and try to do something a little bit creative. Especially in movements where we have multiple repeats, it's nice to kind of change it up by doing different bowings on the repeats. I hope you liked my informal interpretation of these bourrées, and if you enjoyed these videos, be sure to subscribe to my channel as I do new videos every week. If you want to help support me continue to make these videos and also bring in guest artists, you can become my patron on Patreon.